Relax your eyes. Allow your breath to drift slowly in and out. Feel the gentle hush of evening settling in around you as soft candlelight warms the corners of your mind. Our story today sets sail in a time long ago, where night breezes whispered through wooden shutters and hearth fires crackled with quiet comfort. Imagine you're standing on the threshold of an old stone cottage, the air tinged with the scent of wood smoke and fresh hay, the rhythmic lull of distant sheep bleating softly. Let your mind settle into this scene, safe, sheltered, and deeply at ease. 1. Induction. Soft breathing and grounding. Take a slow, deep breath in. Hold it for a gentle moment, and release with a sigh of calm. Feel the weight of your body sink into the mattress or cushion under you, each exhale loosening tension you may be carrying. Let your eyelids grow heavy, like velvet curtains, gently falling. You're safe, you're supported, and you're exactly where you need to be. 2. Deepening the relaxation. Now, imagine a cool twilight breeze drifting through open windows. It carries the gentle rustle of leaves from an ancient oak outside. Each soft, whispering leaf lulls your mind a bit deeper into peace, drifting. Hear the crackle of the hearth fire just beyond your bedroom door, coals glowing warmly, tiny embers dancing in a slow, rhythmic pattern. Feel the warmth on your skin, comforting and unhurried, like the embrace of a dear friend. 3. The story begins. Our story today begins in a quiet corner of the world, far from the noise of modern life. Imagine a soft velvet sky tinged with silver as dusk settles gently across a medieval landscape. The sun has just dipped behind the rolling hills, leaving streaks of gold and lavender smeared across the horizon like a painter's fading brushstroke. Below, nestled in the crook of a river bend, lies a small village, humble, unhurried, cued, and entirely unaware of the centuries that would follow. Thatched rooftops slope downward like sleepy eyes, moss clinging to the stones as if the cottages themselves are settling in for the night. Cobblestone paths twist and wind between timber-framed homes, their beams weathered and warm, telling silent stories of generations who came before. Smoke rises in gentle curls from clay chimneys, carrying with it the scent of oak wood and thyme. Somewhere nearby, a dog barks once, then falls silent, content that the village is safe for the evening. Take a slow breath in and let your mind drift down one of these winding lanes. You pass a bakery, now shuttered, but still warm from the day's work. The faintest aroma of spiced bread lingers in the air. Honey, nutmeg, and dark-crusted rye. Just beside it, a worn wooden cart sits quietly, its wheels propped, its job complete. A lantern swings gently on a crooked post near the town square. Its flickering light dances on the stone walls, casting long shadows that sway like soft lullabies. Every sound here is hushed, muffled by straw and soot and centuries of stillness. Far off in the hills, a church bell gives a soft, solitary chime, the last toll of the day. One single note, like the village's breath being exhaled, it rolls across the valley in slow ripples, washing over the rooftops, the fields, the darkened forest beyond. Inside, one modest home, a window is cracked open to the cool night. Linen curtains flutter gently in the breeze. Candle burns low on a wooden table, its wax pulling slowly, like time itself, melting into calm. The family within has already climbed to their sleeping loft. Bundled together beneath wool blankets, the straw mattress cradling them as they drift. Only the father remains awake, his calloused hands resting on the table, eyes gazing quietly into the flickering flame. He's not thinking of taxes or toil or troubles tonight, only of the wind in the trees, the stars above, and how grateful he feels for a full belly and 4 walls. Now, listen closely. Just beneath the silence, you may hear it, the faint rustle of the breeze through the thatch, the gentle drip of rainwater off a tin bucket, the soft cluck of hens tucked beneath the floorboards, breathing in their sleep. All these sounds simple, rhythmic, ancient. This is not a place of urgency or noise. It is a place of gentle repetition, of seasons and survival, of moments that pass not with speed, but with patience. And here, in this place, your story begins too. You are not a stranger here. The village knows you. The earth beneath you welcomes your weight. The moonlight recognizes your face. And the night, oh the night, it holds you like a memory long remembered. So rest your eyes, let your breath follow the rhythm of this world. Slow, soft, steady. For this night, you belong to another time. A time where life moved slower, where sleep came deeper, okay? And where dreams floated gently, like mist across a quiet field at dawn, for morning light and daily rhythms. Now, let the first light of morning ease into your imagination. The night has passed silently, as it always does in the village. The fire in the hearth has burned down to gentle embers, barely glowing, yet still breathing warmth into the sleeping cottage. Okay. All is still until the dawn begins to stir. A soft haze lies over the land like a blanket not yet folded. Above, the sky blushes with a pale peach light, slowly stretching its limbs after slumber. Mist gathers low in the meadows, curling like smoke around the tree trunks, while dew clings to each blade of grass, glimmering like tiny stars reborn upon the earth. Inside one of the cottages, our gentle farmer lies still beneath his coarse wool blanket. The air is cool against his cheek, but not unpleasant, just enough to nudge him awake. He opens his eyes slowly, not with alarm, but with that steady, practiced calm that only comes from a life tied to the sun and soil. He stretches beneath the covers, letting the stiffness melt from his limbs. The straw mattress rustles quietly beneath him. He listens to the soft coo of a wood pigeon nesting in the rafters, to the distant bleat of a sheep greeting the sun, to the deep, slow silence that lives in the moment before the world fully wakes. With a deep breath, he rises. There is no alarm clock, no rush. The sun is the master of the schedule here. He moves to the window and unlatches the wooden shutter. As it creaks open, the morning light spills into the room, gentle, golden, warm like honey poured from the sky. Now, imagine stepping into that light with him. You feel the cool floor beneath your feet, the scent of the cottage-aged wood, drying herbs, faint embers. Outside, the fields are coated in silver dew, and the trees sway softly as if whispering secrets to one another. Our farmer steps outside, barefoot, into the grass that's soft with moisture. He inhales deeply, the air fresh and earthy, with hints of smoke and sage. Each breath is slow, grounding, anchoring him and you in the present. He walks quietly to the well, wooden bucket in hand. Each step is deliberate, each movement a meditation. The pulley creaks as he lowers the rope, and when the bucket returns, water glistens within it like a captured piece of the sky. He pours it into a basin and splashes his face. The water is cold, shocking, but bracing. He wipes it away with a coarse linen cloth, eyes blinking into full wakefulness. From his door, he watches the village awaken. One by one, others begin to rise. A mother lights a fire with practiced hands. A young boy carries grain to the chickens. A cart rattles softly down the path, wheels bumping over cobblestone. There are no engines, no alarms, no digital sounds. Just birdsong, wind, and the soft rustle of life beginning again, as it always does. The farmer returns inside and kindles his hearth once more. He places a small pot over the fire. Water, oats, a pinch of dried apple. The scent is comforting, like the memory of home. As it cooks, he sits by the window, watching the clouds drift lazily across the sky. He eats slowly, spoon by spoon, savoring the warmth. No phone, no radio, no scrolling. Just the quiet, the breath, and the view of the hills beyond. After breakfast, he prepares for the day's work, but there's no sense of stress or schedule. He lifts a rough tunic over his head, ties twined around his waist, and slips into worn leather shoes. It's cracked with ears, but fitted like a second skin. Outside, the sky has brightened fully. The fields await. Its tools await. The rhythm of life calls, not with urgency, but with a promise of movement, a flow, a participation in something older than memory. And you, watching from just behind his shoulder, feel yourself drawn into that rhythm, too. You're part of this world now. Each breath you take feels slower. Each thought feels softer. Each sound, bird song, wind, rustling grain, becomes part of your own quiet orchestra. The day has begun. But there is no need to rush. Here, time is not a master. It is a companion, walking beside you gently, whispering. There is no hurry. Just be. So, just be. Let yourself rest in the hush of this morning world, where every act is a ritual, and every step is a lullaby in motion. 5. The labors of life. The sun now hangs just above the hills, warm and golden, casting long, sleepy shadows across the land. In this quiet village, the day has fully begun, but still, the pace remains unhurried, as if time itself were walking barefoot beside the farmer. He steps into the field, a leather satchel slung over his shoulder, filled with simple tools worn smooth by years of use. A wooden rake, its handle polished by countless palms. A dull but dependable trowel. A coil of twine, the color of flax. Breathe in and feel the open air with him. There's a peace here, one born of repetition and reverence. This land is not conquered, it is cared for. It is not commanded, but gently guided, as one would calm a restless animal or tend to a wilting flower. The field greets him with silence. There are no machines here, just birds nesting in the hedges and the distant hum of bees beginning their rounds. The earth beneath his feet is soft, still damp from the morning's dew. For every step, the soil gives, just slightly, as if welcoming him home. He kneels without hurry. His knees press into the cool ground, and he leans forward, fingers sinking into the soil. Feel it with him, rich, damp, fragrant, with life. He pulls a few persistent weeds, their roots surrendering without protest. Then, with care, he clears a space and plants the first seed. One seed, one hope, one quiet ritual, older than memory. The task is slow, but not tiring. Each movement is purposeful, almost prayerful. He plants row after row, for riches, not for glory, but for rhythm, for nourishment, for the gentle satisfaction of knowing that something, somewhere, will grow because of his touch. Now, imagine the sun warming the back of his neck. Imagine the soft breeze brushing past your cheeks as you watch him work. He hums, almost without knowing, an old song passed down through the family, the melody as gentle as the wind. And as he works, the world slows even further. Time here is measured in rows completed, in beads of sweat on a brow, in the sound of a distant brook flowing steadily at the edge of the woods. Inhale with him, exhale slowly, matching the rhythm of the rake drawn across the soil. K. Pause. Lift. Again. Drag. Pause. Lift. A quiet lullaby of labor. From time to time, he pauses, not from fatigue, but to admire. A hawk circles high above. A deer peeks from the edge of the forest, still and curious. The scent of wild mint rides on the air, and for a moment, all seems still, as if the world itself is holding its breath. He drinks from a small leather flask, cool water drawn from the well at sunrise. A single swallow, a deep sigh. Then he returns to his work, refreshed by both the water and the stillness. Each seed he presses into the ground carries with it a promise, not just of harvest, but of routine, of grounding, of peace. The sun climbs higher, but there is no clock here, no ticking minutes. Only the arc of light shifting gently across the sky and the sound of breath. Yours, now, slow and soft. In this place, There is no email, no noise, no alerts or alarms. Only the earth, the sky, the wind, and the soul of a man working with his hands. And maybe you find yourself working too, in your own way. Not with tools or soil, but with intention, with breath, with the decision to be here, now, in this moment. As the farmer leans back on his heels and wipes his hands clean on the cloth, he feels something deep within, a contentment. The kind that doesn't shout, the kind that simply is. He stands, stretches, and lets his gaze wander across the fields. Rows of hope, lines of calm, earth and effort in harmony. You too may feel a sense of accomplishment, not from striving, but from stillness, not from doing more, but from simply being. And so, the labors of life continue. But here, they are no burden. They are a soft rhythm in the background of a world designed for rest. Let that rhythm carry you deeper now, deeper into your breath, deeper into calm. The field is quiet once more, so is your mind. 6. Beneath the veil of hygiene and hearth. The sun has now passed its peak in the sky. Its warmth is steady, not harsh. It shines softly across the thatched roofs and golden fields, casting long, dappled shadows across the winding paths that snake between cottages and hedgerows. Our gentle farmer walks back toward his home, his steps slow, not from weariness, but from the mindful peace that follows honest labor. The cottage welcomes him like an old friend. The door creaks softly as he enters, a familiar sound, like a lullaby, made of wood and time. He sets his tools by the wall and moves to the hearth, where a small iron kettle rests over the glowing embers, heating water collected from the well at sunrise. Imagine the scent of warm stone and charred oak rising in the air, the soft hiss of the kettle as it begins to steam. This is not the sting of modern hot water, but something gentler, more personal. He gathers a small clay bowl, a square of linen, and a piece of rough soap made from animal fat and herbs, lavender, rosemary, bay leaf, scents, not perfumed, but natural, soothing, grounding. He places a wide wooden basin near the fire, and, with slow movements, he pours the hot water in. It steams upward in lazy curls, fogging the nearby window, softening the chill of the stone floor. Now, imagine sitting beside that basin. Your hands hover over the warm water. You lower them slowly. The heat wraps around your skin, not burning, just enough to draw a sigh from your lips. The bowl becomes a wellspring of comfort, an invitation to let go. The farmer dips a cloth into the basin and wrings it out. Steam rises, curling against his forearms. He brings the cloth to his face, pressing it gently, first the cheeks, then the brow, the back of the neck. There are no mirrors here, no vanity. This ritual is not about appearance. It is about presence. It is about honoring the body after a morning of giving. You, too, feel the steam rise. Imagine it against your skin, loosening the muscles in your shoulders, your arms, your scalp. You let go of tightness, of tension, of thought. K, with a lather of soap, he scrubs his arms in slow, circular motions. The scent of lavender fills the room clean, floral, ancient. He dips the cloth again, rinses, wipes away the suds. Not a drop wasted, not a gesture rushed. Breathe in that lavender with him, deeper now. Inhale, hold, exhale. He dries himself with the linen square, folding it carefully, setting it aside. Then, from a shelf above the hearth, he retrieves a small wooden comb, worn but smooth. He draws it through his hair, slowly, deliberately. Stroke, soft, reassuring. A bowl of cool, well water waits nearby, and he takes a sip. It is clear, crisp, and tastes of the stone it was drawn from. You imagine that sip, the way it flows down your throat, the way it settles you, inside and out. Now, he sits beside the hearth once more. The fire crackles softly, coals glowing orange, casting flickers of light across the walls. He stretches his legs and closes his eyes, not to sleep, but to savor the stillness. In this moment, all is well. He is clean, he is quiet, he is safe, and so are you. Feel your body echo this ritual. Let your shoulders drop, let your face soften, let your hands rest. Perhaps today wasn't perfect. Perhaps tomorrow holds unknowns. Right now, you are tended to, okay? In the rhythm of warmth, water, and wood, you are cared for, without effort, without expectation. The steam rises, the embers crackle, and the day sighs into its second half with gentle dignity. The farmer smiles faintly to himself, not because anything grand has happened, but because this is enough. Let that thought carry you deeper now, into comfort, into peace, into the quiet truth that life's simplest acts are often its most soothing. You are clean. You are still. You are whole. And the story continues. 7 quiet moments and light meals. The sun has begun its slow descent across the sky. It's casting the village in a soft amber light. Shadows lengthen along the stone paths, and the breeze carries with it the scent of tilled earth, wood smoke, and distant wildflowers beginning to close for the day. Our farmer, now bathed and rested, begins to prepare his midday meal. But here in this world, meals are not rushed. There are no clattering dishes, no hurry, no background noise of screens or conversations hurried along. There's only the calm rhythm of nourishment, gathered, warmed, and shared with mindfulness. He reaches into a small woven basket and removes a coarse loaf of bread, baked the day before in the communal oven just down the lane. The crust is firm, golden, lightly dusted with flour, and cracks faintly under his fingers as he breaks off a piece. Inside, it's dense, slightly nutty, still holding a whisper of warmth from yesterday's fire. Now, imagine that bread in your hand, feel its weight, smell the blend of yeast, ash, and barley. It isn't perfect, but it is honest. And somehow, that makes it beautiful. Beside the bread, he places a bowl of porridge, oats thickened with well water and gently stirred over the hearth until they bloom into a creamy, humble meal. He adds a pinch of dried herbs, thyme perhaps, or crushed mint leaves from the garden, and finishes it with a small handful of crushed nuts, not for indulgence, but for texture and care. He sits on a low wooden stool by the window. Light pulls in through the uneven glass panes, dancing across the table in golden ripples. Outside, you hear the quiet rustle of trees and the faint sound of a neighbor's broom brushing softly against cobblestones. The first bite is slow. He chews carefully, thoughtfully. There is no rush here. Each spoonful is an act of gratitude. You join him in the moment, breathing deeply, imagining the texture of the porridge, the soft crunch of the bread, the way the herbs linger on the tongue like a summer afternoon remembered. There is no feast, and yet nothing is missing. A small clay cup rests by his bowl, filled with cool herbal tea. Dried chamomile and apple blossom, steeped in water, warmed over the same fire that cooked his meal. Its steam curls upward, sweet and faintly floral, soothing to the senses. As he eats, he gazes out the window. The village is quiet now. Child chases a chicken across the lane, laughing softly. An old woman plucks lavender sprigs from her garden, placing them into a basket on her hip. The bell tower stands still, its chimes not needed for now. This is peace, not loud, not dramatic, just peace. You feel it settle into your own body. Perhaps your jaw unclenches, your breathing deepens. Your thoughts grow slow and mellow, like river stones worn smooth by time. The farmer finishes his meal. He sets the spoon down with reverence, wipes his hands on a linen cloth, and leans back in his chair, not because he's tired, but because he can. Outside, a soft wind begins to rise, brushing through the trees like fingers across a harp string. You hear the creak of shutters, the flutter of birds' wings, the gentle clink of someone else finishing their own quiet meal just across the lane. Every sound, low, rhythmic, soothing. Let yourself join the silence between the moments. This world, so far from your own, and yet it welcomes you. It slows your pulse. It calms your thoughts. It invites you to remember that rest can live in the simplest of acts, even in the breaking of bread, even in the sipping of tea. Let your shoulders drop. Let your hands grow still. This is a sacred kind of quiet, the kind that hums beneath the noise of life, waiting to be noticed. The farmer stands now, places the empty bowl beside the hearth and stretches, his limbs long and easy, his breath steady. The meal is done, but the peace lingers. Let it linger with you, too. 8. Afternoon work and simple joys. The sun, now gently past its peak, casts a warm, golden light across the village. The heat of midday is softening. The air grows still, almost reverent. Even the birds sing quieter now, as if they too are settling into the hush of the afternoon. Inside his cottage, our farmer takes a moment to breathe before returning to his quiet labors. There is no urgency, just a gentle sense of continuity. Things to tend, tools to care for, a rhythm to follow. He walks toward his small workshop, a wooden lean-to nestled beside his home. Its beams are weathered from years of sun and wind, but inside, the space is cool and shaded. The scent of pine shavings and aged iron fills the air, a comforting blend of earth and effort. He moves slowly, deliberately. A worn wooden bench sits near the open shutters, bathed in shafts of sunlight. Dust motes drift lazily through the air, turning and spinning like tiny dancers in the light. Each one glows briefly, then disappears, small, silent reminders of how quiet beauty always lingers if we are still enough to notice. He picks up a hand tool, a carving blade with a polished handle, and inspects it. The blade catches the sunlight, just so. He draws it along a block of wood, not with haste, but with the steady hand of someone who's done this 1,000 times before. Shavings curl away in perfect little ribbons, one after another. The sound, a soft, satisfying whisper. Slice, curl, pause. Again. Slice, curl, pause. Let that sound settle into your mind. Feel your breath match its rhythm. Inhale, curl, exhale, pause. He's not building for fame, not crafting for praise. It's mending the broken spoke of a wheel, smoothing the edge of a tool handle, carving a small spoon, maybe, for the family down the lane who welcomed a newborn last week. This is joy in its quietest form. Outside, a wind begins to stir the trees. You can hear the leaves fluttering like pages turning slowly in a forgotten book. In the distance, a dog barks once, then lays back down in the shade of a low stone wall. The farmer stops for a moment, stretching his arms high, shoulders rolling gently. The breeze cools his skin. He leans back against the wall of the workshop, eyes half closed, listening. You listen with him, to the creak of tree limbs, the hum of insects in the tall grass, the rhythmic knock of a neighbor's hammer somewhere deeper in the village. These are not interruptions. They are part of the song of the day, notes in the lullaby of life. He returns to his task, this time humming a tune, low and wordless, a melody passed from parent to child, worker to apprentice. You don't need to know the words. You feel the meaning in your bones, calm, belonging, time slowing down, and you find yourself humming too, softly, breathily, letting the sound vibrate through your chest like the purring of an old cat in the sun. Eventually, the carving is done. He brushes the shavings into a small pile, places the spoon onto the table, and wipes his hands on a cloth that smells faintly of cedar. Then he takes a cup of tea, cooled now, and steps outside. The light has shifted again. Everything is softer. The village glows under a veil of golden stillness. He walks toward the garden, among the rows of carrots and cabbage, herbs and turnips. A single butterfly dances on the breeze, its wings a blur of white and yellow, catching the last brightness of the day. He smiles. You smile with him. He crouches, pulls a weed, adjusts a vine, breathes in the scent of basil and earth in time. There is joy in this. Not loud joy. Not the kind that explodes, but the kind that settles in your soul and hums quietly, reminding you that all is well and all is unfolding exactly as it should. The sun dips lower and the sky deepens, shifting to that impossible blue that only comes just before dusk. He stands, brushes the soil from his hands, and begins walking home. His work is done for now, and yours, too. Let your body follow that motion, wrapping up, winding down, preparing gently for the stillness of evening. The tools are put away. The light is fading. The joy remains. 9. Twilight and communal warmth. The sun now kisses the edge of the hills, casting long shadows across the fields like a blanket being drawn slowly across the land. The warmth of the day begins to retreat, not suddenly, but gently, like a sigh at the end of a lullaby. The sky changes first, fading from pale gold to soft coral, then melting into shades of lavender and dusk blue. One by one, stars begin to peek through the darkening veil, timid and glistening, like tiny candles in a sea of velvet. A farmer, tools stored, hands washed, and spirit light, steps out into the cool hush of evening. He walks slowly, purposefully, toward the center of the village. The path is familiar beneath his feet. The stones cool now after their long day of warming under the sun. His breath creates the faintest cloud in the crisp air, and the breeze that touches his face carries the scent of baked earth, fading smoke, and supper. He is not alone. From nearby cottages, other villagers step out as well, wrapped in shawls, their footsteps just as soft. They carry small bundles, bread, bowls of broth, jars of dried fruits, and lentils. They nod as they pass, smiling, their faces gentle and kind. There is no noise, no commotion, only the quiet murmur of togetherness. In the village square, a small fire crackles, built inside a stone circle worn smooth by time and hundreds of stories told around it. Logs hiss and pop, sending tiny sparks into the air. The flames flicker like dancers, casting warm light onto the faces gathered nearby. The farmer takes a place near the edge of the circle, a simple wooden stool waiting for him, as if the night itself had saved him a seat. All around him, neighbors settle in. Some sit on blankets, others on stones or benches, a few simply on the ground. The youngest among them chase fireflies, giggling softly, while the elders speak in measured tones, their voices low, their stories slow and full of quiet memory. Bowls are passed from hand to hand. Steam rises into the cooling air, curling between bodies like threads stitching hearts together. Someone begins to hum an old tune, familiar and wordless. Within moments, others join in. It isn't a song with verses or choruses, just a melody passed down from generations who also gathered like this under twilight skies, warmed by nothing more than fire and each other. Imagine yourself sitting there, too. Feel the warmth of the fire on your face, the cool earth beneath you, the presence of others nearby, peaceful and unguarded. You hold a bowl of warm broth in your hands, lentils, carrot, maybe a bay leaf floating at the surface. The steam touches your face, and the smell comforts you, earthy and rich. Each sip is slow, grounding, each breath deeper. Someone shares a memory of the harvest. Another speaks of the windstorm that took the barn roof last spring. But there's no complaint in their voices, only acceptance. These aren't troubles. They are seasons. Stories are passed like bread. Everyone takes a piece. Everyone is nourished. A small child climbs into a parent's lap, already drowsy. Another lies on a woolen blanket, watching the firelight flicker against the sky. Dogs curl at their owner's feet. Crickets begin their nightly rhythm. The farmer smiles, not broadly, not proudly, just contentedly, his heart full in that quiet way that words can't quite hold. Okay, you smile too, because somehow you are part of this moment. You are wrapped in it, like a shawl of warmth and stillness, woven from shared breath in slow time. As the fire burns lower, the villagers begin to rise, one by one, offering soft farewells, gestures of thanks, nods of understanding. No one needs to speak loudly. No one hurries. They return to their cottages as the stars grow bolder overhead, each footstep a whisper in the dust. The fire hisses its last ember. The sky is now navy, deep and endless. The night holds everything in silence. The farmer rises, stretches his arms, and turns toward home. His heart, like yours, is quiet. Spirit, like yours, is full. This is the warmth that lingers, even when the fire fades. This is the kind of peace that travels with you long after the stories are done. Let it travel with you now as we move gently toward nightfall. 10. Return to the hearth. The village square lies quiet now, wrapped in shadows and memory. The fire has faded to a warm glow, embers winking in the ash like sleeping stars. One by one, the cottages close their shutters. Lamps are blown out, curtains are drawn, and silence becomes the language of the hour. Our farmer walks the path home beneath the sky scattered with stars. The moon has risen, round and gentle, casting a pale glow over the rooftops and fields. Every sound is softened, the distant hoot of an owl, the sigh of the wind in the trees, the soft crunch of gravel beneath his worn leather soles. His body is tired now, not in pain, but in a way that invites rest. His muscles are heavy, his steps slower, but there is no resistance in him, only surrender, a quiet giving in to the rhythm of the day's end. He reaches his cottage and pauses. The door is exactly as he left it, and as he opens it, the warm scent of earlier hours greets him. Smoke, straw, bread, lavender, a scent that feels like home. He closes the door behind him with a soft click, and the quiet within wraps around him like a woolen shawl. The hearth still glows faintly. A few embers remain, their light pulsing in slow, sleepy waves. He kneels beside it, adds a few small sticks, and gently coaxes the flame back to life. Not for heat now, but for comfort, for presence. The fire crackles once, then settles into a low, steady flame. A candle is lit nearby, its glow dancing across the stone walls, making shadows sway like the lull of a cradle. The farmer removes his boots, places them neatly by the door, and rubs his feet with a worn cloth. He does not speak. There is no one to speak to, but the silence is not loneliness. It is peace, deep, contented, earned. He pours himself a final cup of warm water, sipping it slowly by the window. Outside, the night stretches wide and endless, the stars watching quietly. Kay breathes in deeply, then out, again and again, letting each breath loosen the invisible knots tied through the day. He lights a small oil lamp and climbs the ladder to the loft above. The wooden steps creak gently beneath his weight. The sound is familiar, like the ticking of an old clock, counting down not hours, but moments. Sacred, fleeting, quiet. Stairs. The bed is simple, a straw mattress, layered with wool blankets, all tucked in lovingly. A pillow filled with dried grasses and soft feathers rests at the head, scented faintly with rosemary and chamomile. He sits on the edge, removes his tunic, and folds it carefully beside him. Then he slips beneath the covers, the coarse wool brushing against his skin with reassuring texture. Rough, yes, but familiar, like the land, like the life. He lies back, exhales, and closes his eyes. Down below, the fire continues to flicker. The candle's flame bends slightly in the draft from the window, and the wind whispers through the cracks in the stone like an old friend murmuring a final goodnight. The cottage breathes around him, and so do you. Now imagine yourself lying in that loft. You feel the straw shift beneath you, warm and supportive. The wool blankets grow heavier on your body. Your breath, like his, slows, softens, deepens. There is nothing to do now. It's nothing to finish. It's nothing to fix. Only rest, only stillness. Only the soft glow of a hearth long tended, a body well used, and a spirit gently settling into dream. The fire crackles, the stars blink, and the night holds you. 11. Nightfall and sleep story. Now, the night has settled completely. No longer fading or falling, it is here, full and still, like a great velvet curtain drawn across the sky. All is dark now, save for the moon, which hangs just outside the farmer's window, casting a pale silver beam across the wooden beams of the loft. It lands gently on the blanket that rises and falls with each breath he takes. Soft, deep, steady. You breathe with him now. The fire downstairs has hushed itself into a low glow, and the cottage has become a cradle of warmth and quiet. Even the air feels slower, heavier, as though time itself has curled up to sleep beside you. From outside, a single owl calls, once, then silence. The sounds of the village are gone now. There are no carts on the path, no feet upon stone, no bells, no speech, only the small sounds of sleep, creaking rafter above, the wind brushing softly against the window panes, the distant shuffle of straw as the farmer turns just slightly beneath his blanket, and the long, slow rhythm of his breathing. It's the same breath you carry now, yours slowing, deepening, smoothing like water over polished stone. He dreams already, wheat fields swaying in summer light, of his mother's hands, long ago, braiding bread in a clay oven, of the way stars look when you lie in a meadow with no roof above you, just the scent of grass and the hush of infinity. His face, though relaxed, carries a soft smile, because even in sleep, he knows he is home. And you are home too, here, in this story, in this time, in this stillness. Let yourself feel the weight of the blankets over you, whether imagined or real. Let them press you gently into the mattress, anchoring you not with heaviness, but with safety. Let your hands grow soft, fingers uncurling. Let your jaw loosen. Let your thoughts drift like ash rising from the hearth, quiet, slow, glowing. There is nothing to resist, nothing to hold. You are floating now, between waking and dreaming, between this world and another, and all around you, silence holds steady. The stars above seem to sway gently in the sky. The moon tilts its light just for you. Even the trees outside, tall and ancient, seem to hush their branches so you may sleep undisturbed. If you were to open your eyes now, you'd see nothing but calm, but you won't open them, 'cause your body knows what comes next. Your thoughts are slowing, stretching, softening, like fabric folding in a warm basket, like water retreating from the shore, like a lullaby with no words, only feeling. The farmer does not stir, nor should you. Let the dreams begin to arrive now, like visitors in the quiet. You don't need to greet them, they will come to you in time. They always do. Let your final waking breath be deep. Let your final thought be soft. You are safe. You are warm. You are home. And now you are asleep. 12. Return to you. And now, as the candle in our story flickers one final time, and the fire below fades to the memory of warmth, we begin to return. Not to busy days or loud places, but back to you, back to the quiet space where your own body rests. The room around you may be still, or it may hold the soft hum of nighttime sounds, a distant breeze, a ticking clock, the gentle rustle of a sheet shifting slightly as you exhale. Wherever you are now is enough, and you are enough. Let your mind gently return to the breath moving through your body. You don't need to control it. Just notice it. Let it pass through like wind, through wheat, effortless, natural, calming. Each breath is a step away from thought and a step closer to peace. You may not be in a medieval cottage, wrapped in wool and straw and candlelight, but you are in a place just as sacred, your body, your mind, this moment. Let the story settle inside you, not as memory, but as sensation, the rhythm of the fields, the days, the weight of shared silence, the taste of warm bread and herbs, the hush of evening. Let all of it become part of you. You are not simply imagining rest. You are rest, not chasing sleep, but welcoming it. The labor of the day is over. The story has been told, and now your body knows what to do. Let your limbs be still. Let your thoughts float. Let the space between one breath and the next stretch wider and wider until you no longer notice the line between them. You may still hear my voice, but even that now is just another star in the sky above your sleeping village. Faint, far away, fading. You are drifting. Deeper, stiller, softer. You are no longer a listener. You are part of the story now. 13. Closing soft whisper. Hansel. As the last ember fades beneath ash, as the moon tucks itself behind a cloud, as the silence deepens to its fullest hush, we end. But in truth, nothing has ended, only shifted. The day becomes night. The story becomes a dream. The listener becomes the sleeper. And you are asleep, completely, beautifully, peacefully. Good night.